public who are joining our, oh, is he ready? Yeah or no?
Yep, you're good.
Okay. Who are joining our September 16, 2025 Public Learning, Equity and Wellbeing Standing Committee meeting. This meeting is called to order. The chair will recognize Trustee Butterworth, Trustee Cohen, Trustee Mamoon, and Trustee McCarthy, and Trustee Wright, and Trustee Lin to participate in person. And I do not see any trustee online. And let me starting from the land acknowledgement. The chair will recognize Trustee Cohen to do the land acknowledgement. Thank you, Trustee Cohen.
Thank you very much, Chair. We affirm that we are all treaty people and acknowledge that the York Region District School Board is located on the lands of 2 treaties. These treaties have been signed with the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation and the First Nations of the Williams Treaties, who are the Mississaugas of Alderville, Curve Lake, Hiawatha, Scugog Island, and the Chippewas of Beausoleil, Rama, and Georgina Island, who is our closest neighbor and partner in education. To honor this agreement, we will take up our responsibility to be respectful of their traditions, knowledge, and inherent rights as sovereign nations. We will respect their relationship with these lands and recognize that our connection to this land is through the continued relationship with these First Nations, and we acknowledge our shared responsibility to respect and care for the land and waters for future generations. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Trustee Cohen, for the land acknowledgement. Move to next item, approval of the agenda. Without objection, the agenda as presented shall be adopted. Is there any objection? Seeing and hearing none, so without objection, the agenda is adopted. Declaration of a conflict of interest. At this time, the chair would ask any trustee who has a direct personal interest or direct or indirect pecuniary interest in any matter being discussed by the board during this meeting to state the conflict and nature thereof. Seeing and hearing none. Approval of the minutes. The minutes of the June 3rd, 2025 Learning, Equity, and Wellbeing Standing Committee meeting have been distributed to all trustees. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Seeing and hearing none, as there are no corrections, the minutes are approved as presented. Agenda 6 will be delegation. Currently, there are no committee delegations. Agenda number 7, board reports. So, item A, proposed elementary school boundary change. Before the committee is the proposed elementary school boundary change. The chair recognizes Associate Director of Education and Chair Finance Officer, Service Excellent with Mahajit and Senior Manager Planning and Property Development Services, Don Adam, to present this report. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening, trustees. Is this on? Welcome to the 25-26 year. What we are bringing to you this evening is the conclusion of the boundary, 2 boundary changes that we commenced at the beginning of the 24-25 school year. We'll be bringing you future boundaries that we're working on at a future Lucy meeting. So Trina Sprayson is going to speak to you about the conclusion of the boundary change between Devons Drive Public School and Aurora Heights Public School, as well as Black River Public School and Morning Glory, as well as Sutton Public School. Trina Sprayson.
Thanks, Dawn. So there's 3 recommendations for 2 boundary changes that are being proposed. Page 6 of the agenda package outlines those recommendations. Page 6 also speaks to the proposal for the first boundary change that I want to talk about, which is the Devons Drive and Aurora Heights Public School boundary change. So this is being proposed to expand the boundary for Devons Drive and decrease the boundary for Aurora Heights. So we want to add more enrollment back to Devons Drive now that the French immersion program has been moved back to Lester B. Pearson. This proposal will also help alleviate enrollment pressure at Aurora Heights, and we can look to remove some portables. So also the report outlines that board staff met with school councils on February 4th, 2025. We also had a public meeting on April 16th, 2025. There was a small amount of feedback that was received. For the most part, the change was supported. If you want to look at appendix attached to the report, you can see the before and after boundary proposal maps for this proposal. And then the second proposal that we're bringing forward tonight is on page 7, and that's for Black River Public School, Morning Glory Public School, and Sutton Public School. So an initial proposal was discussed with school councils on March 5th and at the public meeting on April 10th, 2025. That initial proposal that we discussed included Fairwood Public School, which we later removed based on feedback. So a few things to highlight in the report is at the public meeting, there were some concerns raised about childcare, siblings, splitting grade 8 feeders, and the timing for boundary implementations. So based on some of that feedback, as I mentioned, splitting the grade 8 feeders, we removed Fairwood Public School from the proposal, and then we had to make adjustments to the other schools to make sure that the numbers worked out for the enrollment. So we made an adjustment to Black River and Sutton Public School to ensure the enrollment could be accommodated at Black River. And then the other thing that was addressed was also the board's childcare coordinator worked to address that before and after care concerns that were brought up at the meeting. And then once this adjustment was made, information was provided to parents. So this proposal for Black River, Morning Glory, and Sutton, we add a section to Morning Glory, and that'll help increase the enrollment at Morning Glory. And then we're also going to add a section of Sutton along Dalton Road to Black River, and that will help reduce the need for portables at Sutton Public School due to new residential development in the area. So we're hoping that this boundary change will better rebalance some of the enrollment between these schools. And then both boundary changes, as Dawn mentioned, we started in the fall of 2024, and these changes, if approved, would be effective September 2026. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer.
Yeah, the chair recognizes Trustee Mamun. Yeah, so according to the speaker list. So, Mamun.
Okay, thank you. Just some clarification. So I'm okay with Aurora Heights and that first one because it looks okay. You're just adding that portion on the top, right? Now, or changing a little bit on the side. But on the second proposal, I'm just trying to understand what's the net impact, because you have taken the whole Black River Section B and added that to Morning Glory, right? Is that my understanding correct?
That's correct.
So what's the net impact? Because is it not, Morning Glory is now going to be, or there was already a capacity, that's why we did that?
So Morning Glory is under enrolled, so they have, I think it was 60 to 70% utilization, so they can definitely use more enrollment, and this is a way to bolster enrollment up closer to the capacity at Morning Glory. And then removing that Section B from Black River allows us to add some of the Sutton boundary to Black River. And that allows us to decrease the speed at which we need portables at Sutton Public School. I hope
Okay.
that
Thank you,
helps
Madam Chair.
clarify.
Yeah, thank you, Trustee Mamun. And the staff to reply for the questions. So the chair will recognize Trustee Butterworth to ask questions.
Thank you very much, Chair, and through you. I just want to, so publicly, I just want to sort of hear the explanation about the childcare piece. I'm well aware of it, and I'm very happy, first of all, that we were able to address that, and because that was definitely concerns that were mentioned at the meeting. If you could just give us a bit of an overview on how we've sort of solved the childcare problem, that would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm wondering if I could just ask Dawn Adams to speak about that in detail, because she was conversing with our childcare coordinator.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. So historically, there was only an after-school program at Morning Glory. It's a complex area. There's very little childcare. There was historically not enough interest in the before program. So as the community is changing and evolving in younger families, there was a need that hadn't been addressed. So Sandra Sands, our childcare coordinator, had been surveying the community a number of times over the years, and the threshold wasn't there. She sent a survey after we had our meeting, and the threshold had been there. So in the future, we'll only see that program be able to increase, but now, and it was news to us when we were out in the community that there wasn't before and after, it was just the after-school program. So for young families, it met their needs. So we're so thrilled to have that brought to our attention, and more important, to be able to resolve it.
Yes, thank you. No, you had explained, but I just wanted to get that sort of out there. And very pleased that, we were able to accommodate many families and settle them, that they know that they have a school, they've got childcare and so on. So thank you very much for listening to the feedback. That's great. And that's it for me. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So any trustee has any questions? Yeah, hearing and seeing none. Thank you, staff, for providing the report. So here I'm going to read the recommendation, continue on page 5 of the agenda package, are here for adoption. That the York Region District School Board approve the following recommendations. 1, that the current Davins Drive Public School boundary be expanded north to the town of Aurora, municipal boundary on the north side of St. John's Side Road, and expanding further east along Archer High Boulevard to Young Street, including the northeast corner of Young Street and St. John's Side Road, Appendix A, effective September 2026. In addition, revise the elementary school boundary for Aurora High Public School to match this change. 2, that the current Black River Public School boundary be expanding east of Dalton Road to the golf course, south of a lake, drive east to residents along Black River Road, Appendix B, effective September 2026. In addition, revise the elementary school boundary for Sutton Public School to match this change. So number 3, that the current Morning Glory Public School boundary be expanded to include Black River Public School Section B boundary, Appendix B, effective September 2026. In addition, revise the elementary school boundary for Black River Public School to match this change. And number 4, that the current Black River Public School Section C boundary be renamed to Black River Public School Section B. Without objection, the recommendation as read by chair shall be adopted. Any objection? Seeing and hearing none, without objection, the recommendation is adopted. Good. Good report. Thank you. Thank you, staff. Okay, so we're starting to go into report B, summer 2025 programming overview. So this summer, we have a lot of exciting things here. Before the committee is the summer 2025 program overview. It is here for our information. The chair recognizes Associate Director of Education, Schools, Programs, and Equitable Outcome, Kate Daiq, and Neil Ganafanji, Coordination Superintendent of Education, Equity, Inclusive School, and Community Services, Research and Assessment Services, Loris Aga, Coordinating Superintendent of Education, Curriculum and Instructional Services and Continuing Education, Julian Gibbon, and Coordinating Superintendent of Education, Student Services and Wellbeing, Will Hoss, to present this report. Thank you, staff.
Thank you, and through you, Chair. So good evening. We're excited to be here tonight to share a summary of the summer programs that ran through our continuing education department this summer. So next slide, please. So this summer, the continuing education department was very busy providing summer programming. 1,080 staff at 43 YRDSB school sites provided summer programming to 23,154 students. Of the 23,154 students, over 7,800 were elementary students participating in camps and learning opportunities, and over 15,000 were supported through were secondary students who earned a total of 13,079 credits. These opportunities were supported through 4 community partnerships and many different co-op employers, resulting in rich opportunities for our students. All this while also moving sites from Dr. Betty Stevenson Center for Learning to the Education Support Center, located at 39 Dunning. In addition to student learning, Curriculum and Instructional Services also held our Summer Great Beginnings Conference, providing 441 staff with professional learning workshops. Next slide, please. The Continuing Education Department is responsible for the running of programs outside of our regular day school that are designed to directly support the regular day school programming. So in summer, this includes acceleration courses, including ESL, credit upgrading and credit recovery, co-op work experience, alternative learning experiential program employment opportunities, kindergarten, grade 1 and grade 9 preparation courses, literacy and numeracy reinforcement, community classes for multiple exceptionalities and developmental disabilities, and international language courses. Programs are either funded provincially or run on a cost recovery basis. In some cases, programs are partially funded and partially cost recovery. So I'm joined tonight by CSO Lois Agard and CSO Wendy Howes to help share details about the wonderful programs that supported student achievement this summer. Next slide, please. So this summer, our elementary programs included Building Bridges for Kindergarten, Building Bridges to Grade 1, the Hearsay Play, Camp Black Brilliance, Elementary Summer School, Summer Institute, Finding Your Inner Mathematician, and Grade 8 Reach Ahead programs. Next slide, please. So to take a look at these programs, the Building Bridges for Kindergarten, or BBFK program, offers families the opportunity to get to know the kindergarten program, meet the kindergarten staff, and familiarize themselves with the school they will be attending in the fall. Students participated in play-based learning experiences, both indoors and outdoors, and the program ran through the month of July, and we had 466 students attend at 27 different sites. Next slide, please. So the kindergarten program is designed to support learning through play. Students construct their knowledge by experimenting, for instance, building towers as high or as wide or as strong as they can with different materials, playing with sand or water to see how it reacts to different stimuli, and engaging in reading and storytelling. Students also learn how to interact with each other, learning effective socialization skills like conflict resolution. Next slide, please. The Building Bridges for Grade 1 program is similar to Building Bridges for Kindergarten, offering families the opportunity to build on the kindergarten program as students transition to Grade 1. Students participated in play-based learning experiences both indoors and outdoors. This program ran in the month of July and served 291 students in 12 sites. We're excited to see the increased interest in this program from our families. Next slide, please. So Building Bridges for Grade 1 starts the transition to more structured classrooms, still emphasizing play-based learning, but augmented with more structured tasks that assist students in developing independent learning skills and literacy and numeracy foundational skills. Next slide, please.
I'm here to talk about our Hearsay Play program, which is a great collaboration between our speech-language pathologists, our communication disorders assistants, our early childhood educators, DECEs, and our kindergarten teachers. This program focuses on early literacy skills in small groups, and they work to develop reading skills, early literacy skills through games and movement. This program runs in June and July. This year we supported 360 early learners, and it was virtual. Next slide, please. One of the exciting things that we have migrated to with the introduction of the early reading screening that is mandatory through the Ministry of Education is then supporting schools in selecting students who haven't necessarily met the outcomes or the benchmarks of the early reading screening to enroll in this program in the summer, to intentionally target the strategies that will further develop their early literacy skills. As you can see here, there are a bunch of picture books, and every student who enrolls in this program receives 2 copies of the books. So they receive their own copy of the book that they can then use during the sessions with the speech-language pathologist, the communication disorders assistant, the dedicated early childhood educator, and the kindergarten teacher. You will also see little plastic people. All of the students get 2 books, a set of those plastic people, and then a little magnifying glass, because that helps them with segmentation of letters and sounds, so building that understanding of how we break bigger words into smaller parts and how all of those letters have a job to do in building their understanding of how we read, but also of how we write. One of my favorite little stories is the young boy who was 4 years old who came into the session this year and had a copy of Harry the Dirty Dog, and when it came up on screen, he started screaming at the TV, or at the virtual camera, "I have that book! I have that book in my house! Can I go and get that book?" And we were like, yes, that is why you have the copy of the book in your house. But he went and got it and was able to turn the pages with the educators and then use those little people to help him understand letter, sound, symbol correlation, final sound identification, etc. So that is the first program that I will be speaking of, and I think I turn it over to Lois Agard.
Thank you, Wendy. And the next slide. Camp Black Brilliance is intentionally designed to give Black students an affirming introduction to schooling. At the early stage, building confidence and a sense of belonging is critical to how students see themselves as future learners and as current learners. What makes this program unique is how it centers identity. Children engage in hands-on experiential learning where they can see their culture, creativity, and brilliance reflected in the activities and teaching. Families are also an important part of this work. The camp strengthens homeschool relationships right from the start, so parents and caregivers feel connected, welcome, and supported in navigating the system. Beyond the summer, the camp is an investment in long-term outcomes. By affirming identity, fostering belonging, and building strong partnerships, we are laying the groundwork for student achievement and well-being throughout their schooling. Camp Black Brilliance shows us the impact of creating learning spaces where students feel seen and celebrated from the very beginning. It is a model of how we can center identity, belonging in everything we do. On the following slides, so if we can change the slides, please, thank you. You'll see pictures from the program, and this helps to bring an understanding of all the wonderful things that the students were engaged in and their love for the learning and the activities they were engaging in. Now I'll pass it over to Jillian, who will share updates on the elementary summer school program.
Thank you. So the elementary summer school program is provided to students in grades 6, 7, and 8. It is designed to reinforce the curriculum, particularly literacy and numeracy skills, creating a strong foundation for future learning. As well, there is learning in elective subjects, including inquiry opportunities through the arts and technology. This summer, 1,371 students participated during the month of July at 5 different sites and through a remote option. Next slide, please. So elementary summer school is designed to give a boost to students who would benefit from additional learning opportunities. The structure allows for the consolidation of learning through application, creative expression, and experiential opportunities. This summer, students engaged in building structures, engaged in community-based opportunities to learn about money management, analyzed story plots, and played games such as chess and basketball. The goal of elementary summer school is to make learning authentic and fun. Next slide, please. Summer Institute offers academic, recreational, and athletic programs and activities with intentional links to the Ontario curriculum for students entering senior kindergarten to grade 8. It is designed as more of a camp experience, and it is run on a cost recovery basis. Summer Institute is the longest elementary summer programming, running from June 30th to August 8th. This summer, 4,274 students participated at 9 sites. Sites for Summer Institute are picked based on areas in the board that are identified as areas of need. Next slide, please. So in the summer, we also have a Finding Your Inner Mathematician. And this program provides experiential and interactive summer math programs for students who may require additional support in math. This program is designed for students who could benefit from building confidence and to develop their conceptual understanding, getting ready for grade 6. Students who are able to spend the more in their math program then get to join the Summer Institute for the afternoon, getting an afternoon camp experience. Next slide, please. So at this time, we have a short video to share that has been created by our creative services team to give you some insight into Summer Institute.
Summer Institute is so much more than a camp. It is an incredible opportunity for campers and staff alike to make lasting memories.
We love Summer Institute!
In Summer Institute, we have an incredible team and we establish a really beautiful community. Time and again, we hear stories of campers and counselors who continue to come back.
So I was a Words Alive counselor for 5 years. It was an amazing opportunity for me to really get my feet wet, see what teaching was all about. Now as a program leader, it's nice to just see the full circle effect of that.
Our team of program leaders have worked really hard to structure a literacy program that puts our campers at the forefront so that they are being reflected in our community and in our classrooms.
Most of them are like student-led activities. I would say like it is building in a strong leadership for them. I see that students are finding new friends and how they build up their relationship as a small peer group to work together.
It's been really fun. I get to try new things and meet new friends. I like that we get to pick what we want to do. I choose Ready, Set, Cook because I want to get better at cooking, for example.
You can learn lots of things here. In Wacky Science, you get to do many things. Like last week, you got to make a bridge, and now in this week, we got to make a volcano.
Yesterday, we went on a nature walk, and we picked lots of flowers, leaves, and we also picked some grass too.
I love summers too because I can hang out with my friends, talk to them every day, like school, but a little bit more fun.
It makes me happy that we get to play different games and also games that we didn't play before.
So as a senior counselor, you have a little bit more responsibility. You're in charge of the safety in your classroom first and foremost, and you're also in charge of creating a lesson plan, making it fun and engaging with the kids. Ideally, you want to teach them something new or build upon the skills they already have, and you want to tailor it to their likes.
You get to see their imagination and their personality and their enthusiasm really come out, and I think that's a really rewarding experience to have while working here.
Being at Summer Institute as a counselor has helped me learn how to make learning even more creative and exciting. Like right now I'm teaching cooking, and we're working on fractions and how to double or half recipes. In Makerspace as well, we're exploring a lot of like science activities, which works on like hands-on skills, but then also being able to read instructions or coming up with ideas and writing down what we're talking about as well.
I love hearing at the end of the day, talking to the campers about what their favorite part of the day was, because it's always something different.
Summer Institute is a program that not only benefits students, campers, and their families, but also has a lasting positive impact on the staff, providing rich mentoring opportunities.
Thank you. So next slide, please. So as we move on from Summer Institute, we also have an elementary summer, the Grade 8 Reach Ahead program. So this the Grade 8 Reach Ahead program is an opportunity for Grade 8 students to actually take a high school credit that they can use towards their graduation requirements. So the course that we run is Discovering the Workplace, and it focuses on present and future opportunities in the workplace and careers. It is designed to reinforce literacy and numeracy skills with an intentional link to trades and technology. There's also some additional Reach Ahead opportunities in languages. There are 3 options that ran this summer: Simplified Mandarin, Spanish, and Tamil. Next slide, please. So not only did we have elementary programs, but we had secondary programs. And our secondary programs this summer included the Summer Exploration and Learning Programs for students with multiple exceptionalities, developmental disabilities, the Y² Legacy, Cooperative Education, Secondary Summer School in-person remote, Secondary Summer School online, our Focus on Youth, Summer Mentorship, and our Summer PLAR Challenge. So at this time, I'll hand it over to Wendy.
Thank you. And just to give you a little bit of background on our summer exploration and learning programs for students with multiple exceptionalities and developmental disabilities, we run this to mirror Summer Institute for students who are typically served in our school day in community classes for our multiple exceptionalities and developmental disability students. With feedback from SEAC, our Special Education Advisory Committee, we realized that this was a gap in the community and a service that was not available readily to our families. And so in partnership with our amazing educators and educational assistants and our PTOT, our Physical and Occupational Therapy Department, we run this program for students in grades 3 through 12, and we supported 5 sites this year with 165 students. So if you go to the next slide, please. Again, the opportunity then exists to continue to build on the individual education plans that are built throughout the year, and the morning is spent further working towards goals that have been set out in their individual education plan. And similar to Summer Institute, the afternoon is more of a camp-like opportunity where, with the feedback and input from their regular school day classroom team, we understand what their likes and interests are, and we create activities for students to enjoy in the afternoon: bracelets, clay, painting, arts and crafts, etc. So that is the summer exploration and learning programs for students with multiple exceptionalities and developmental disabilities.
Thank you. In Y2 Legacy, Black-centered approaches to leadership, innovation, and excellence is designed to create pathways where Black students, along with their peers in some courses, experience learning that is both academically rigorous and identity affirming. The program centers Black brilliance by offering courses that are rooted in Afrocentric and culture responsive approaches. So Black innovation and technology was the TSA 2.0 course. Black narratives and literature was the ENG 2D course. Black Leadership, Innovation, and Management was the BOH4M course, and then Black Community Connections and Leadership was the co-op program. TSA 2.0 and ENG 2D welcome students of all identities, while BOH4M and the co-op were designed specifically for students who identify as Black, creating spaces for identity, leadership, and innovation to flourish. Students left the program with more than just credits. They strengthened their voice, affirmed their identities, and built the confidence to lead in their schools and community. YT Legacy demonstrates how equity and achievement are interconnected. By affirming identity and building leadership skills, we are setting students up for long-term success. This program reminds us that when students see themselves reflected in what they learn, they thrive academically and personally. So now I'll turn it over to Jillian, who will share about cooperative education, dual credit opportunities that extend this vision of what we shared in post-secondary opportunities.
Thank you. So the co-op program is a blended learning model. It offers 1 or 2 credits that includes a combination of pre-placement work and work experiences in the community. So this year, 184 students participated in a co-op program and completed 260 credits. Next slide, please. So co-op allows students to participate in a true work experience, helping them make decisions about their future. Employment opportunities cover a wide range of opportunities, including in service industries, healthcare, the trades, and education, to name a few. Many students go on to learn and work in the fields they start in during their co-op experience, and some learn this is not the direction they want to go. Also a valuable learning experience. Next slide, please. Secondary summer school runs in 3 learning modes: in person at one of our 7 secondary school sites, remotely and synchronous learning occurring during the regular school day, and online in an asynchronous format. This summer, 6,419 secondary students learned in an in-person classroom setting, and 1,278 students learned remotely in a synchronous environment. 6,817 credits were earned by students at in-person and remote summer school. Next slide, please. In secondary summer school, students also had the opportunity to engage in online learning. Classes occur online using an asynchronous model with synchronous check-in opportunities with the teacher. Course offerings ranged from grade 10 to 12, and 7,124 learned online, obtaining 5,081 credits. So courses in secondary summer school included accelerated grade 10 to 12 courses, where students took a credit they have not taken before in a shortened time frame. Reinforcement courses, where students who were unsuccessful in obtaining the credit in day school were given the opportunity to take the credit in a shorter time frame. And credit strengthening courses, where students who successfully obtained the credit but wish to upgrade their mark can retake the credit with the goal of improving their understanding of the material. Next slide, please. So acceleration courses are offered in the online and the in-person and remote learning settings. Reinforcement and credit strengthening courses are only available in the in-person and remote learning setting. Next slide, please. So Focus on Youth. Focus on Youth is a program that supports positive transition to adulthood by creating high-quality employment experiences for in-risk high school students. So our Focus on Youth program is tied very closely to our Summer Institute program, and we employ students in the Focus on Youth program to provide counseling, or to provide as counselors, or to work as counselors with our with our Summer Institute kindergarten to grade 8 program. So it's a very exciting partnership between these 2 programs, and you, in the video that I showed earlier, you heard a little bit from the counselors themselves. So next slide, please. Summer mentorship. So opportunities like opportunities like the summer mentorship program give students an incredible opportunity to experience and explore possible pathways for their future. So in this case, this program is run through the University of Toronto, and it gives students of Indigenous and African heritage a chance to explore the health sciences. So each year, a different board is responsible for hiring the teacher and managing registration. And this year, the YRDSB had this responsibility. So 21 of our students were able to participate in the program, earning 21 credits. Next slide, please. So opportunities like this program give students a chance to see themselves learning in a post-secondary environment. Students are provided with access to university learning spaces and instructors, and they build their understanding of what is possible after they leave high school. It is always wonderful to hear students talking about how they will be attending university in the future because they already feel like they have. Thank you. So prior learning assessment and recognition is a formal evaluation and credit granting process of student learning that students engaged in outside of formal education facilities. So prior learning includes the knowledge and skills that students have acquired in both formal and informal ways outside of school. And they submit evidence of their learning, and that evidence is evaluated against the course curriculum. If the evidence supports learning that is compatible with the expectations of the course, then students engage in an evaluation of their skills to support their submission. And at the end, if they're successful, they are granted a credit. So examples of learning that might be applied in this case would be examples of work experiences. So you might have been out in a trade or in and come back and used that towards your prior learning. Or for instance, music training is another one that often generates a prior learning assessment and credit granting. Next slide, please. Georgina Island and YRDSB. So the Georgina Island Partnership is offered in July, and has a variety of learning opportunities that happen in there, and it's a combination or a partnership between YRDSB and the Anishinaabe education system. So in this case, 7 co-op credits were granted by YRDSB, and 24 credits were granted by the Anishinaabe education system. And those credits are then applied towards children's graduation requirements. Next slide, please. So credits offered through the partnership with Georgina Island allowed students to learn in classrooms as well as out in the community of Georgina. This was a wonderful opportunity for students to make stronger connections to their local community and reduced a significant travel barrier that impacts summer learning opportunities for students who live on Georgina Island. Next slide, please. And finally, the Great Beginnings Teacher Summer Learning. So finally, summer learning is not just for students. Great Beginnings is a teacher summer learning conference that supports elementary and secondary educators with practical information and resources to support their professional development. It started as a conference for new teachers and has expanded to any interested teachers due to demand from teachers who had attended in the past and wanted to attend again. 51 facilitators provided learning sessions over 4 days to 387 elementary teachers and 54 secondary teachers. Next slide, please. So in the 4 days, the sessions included new to teaching, what to expect, and what to expect in your second year. Math learning and literacy learning, building community with students and teachers, planning for instruction and assessment, and using the Understanding How Processing Affects Learning waterfall document to support student learning, just to name a few. Next slide, please. So as continuing education, we're very, very proud of all that we were able to engage in this summer, but of course, we are always looking forward. And so some future things that we are looking into, we're looking to investigating other opportunities with various stakeholders to expand our offerings within the board. We're working to increase participation in our Georgina Island and through our Georgina Island partnership. We're looking to provide online learning in August for secondary students who wish to earn a credit. And of course, we are going to continue to review all of our programs to maximize our efficiencies and remain fiscally responsible. So at this point, we're happy to take any questions trustees may have.
Thank you, the staff, for the excellent report and excellent program. So any trustee have a question? Okay, so the chair recognizes Trustee Butterworth.
Thank you very much. That was quite a summer indeed. So a couple of questions. For the example, the hearsay play, how do families find out? Do teachers, oh, sorry, I should have said Wendy. Do teachers, or like you also said SLPs, speech and language people, do they recommend families to do this, or how do families find out about this? That's my first question.
Thank you, and through you, Chair. Yes, and it's a partnership. So the original registration is in partnership with schools, SLPs, and the kindergarten educators to recommend students, and then it gets opened up to students to fill all of the spaces that we can fill. So as many spaces as we can fill, we will fill.
Awesome. Okay. Second question, how do you decide on the sites where programs take place? Now, I know, like, for example, like Summer Institute, you know, where areas of need and so on. I'm looking broader, like for all of the programs. And I guess my focus is because I looked at the recommendation about increasing enrollment and participation in Georgina. So how do you decide where you're going to put, in general, these programs, all of these summer programs?
So thank you, and through you, Chair. So there's a number of different ways. So some of them, like you said, Summer Institute, it's particular areas that are identified as being areas that would benefit from having camp programs there. In other cases, like summer school, we look to try and provide opportunities in all of the areas so that the travel isn't a problem. And but it does happen that interest in some cases is low, and so we have to close down programs. That's one of the reasons why you see in some cases the remote option, which allows students to not have to do the travel. So a number of factors kind of play out, but a lot of it is just really analyzing what's the need in the system and sort of starting with a broad spectrum and then narrowing it to make sure we're best serving the demands.
Okay, so on that then, because it is a future possibility, you're looking to increase enrollment and participation in Georgina. Is that because enrollment has been low and there isn't enough interest to warrant a program? And I guess, which leads to my next thing, that Reach Ahead program, I know because I got, you know, calls about it. It didn't end up happening because there weren't enough students. So, and obviously people are upset because those who wanted it couldn't get it, say, in their area. So this is sort of an example of why we need to look at increasing enrollment to make those programs work in Georgina. I guess it's kind of a rhetorical question, but yes, so that's
yes,
why.
Through you, Chair, absolutely, that's exactly. So we've talked about ways to make sure that the information is out earlier and that people can make their plans for the summer knowing that this is an option. We're not sure that everybody was aware, but yes, that was an example this summer where we had to move to a remote option because there were not sufficient numbers, or in some cases we were able to bus them to another site, but it's a long journey, and so it's not ideal.
Expensive, yes. Yeah. Okay, I do have another one, but I'll wait. It might be asked by someone else, so I'll go again if need be. Thank you, that was great. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The chair recognizes Trustee Mamoon to ask question. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. My question through you, a simple one just for explanation. So I do see that the program for kindergarten versus the grade 1, it has disparity, that number of locations we are offering it, number of students in there. So I'm just trying to understand how we pick the sites. Is it based on certain things? Because I was thinking that if it's a kindergarten and grade 1, maybe number of sites would be almost the same, but looks like there's a difference. And is there a component of transportation involved there or not? Those two things I think can tie it together, and I have a couple of other questions.
So thank you, and through you, Chair. So for the kindergarten program, it's the same process where we look for areas where we particularly think we would benefit from having children or families come in and see the kindergarten program and experience the kindergarten program before they enter into our schooling. There is a greater need there than the movement to grade 1, like there's a greater demand. So so there are fewer from the kindergarten to grade 1 transition programs, and that's again demand. So they'll look out and determine kind of where we think we should put them, and then we advertise and we make decisions around, do we need to, if one's particularly full, what do we need to do to expand? And if there's areas where we're not seeing it at the same level, we would then possibly close that and move it. There is no transportation provided for that. Most summer school programs do not have transportation. There are a small number that do. This is not one of them. And sorry, there was a second question. Or was
I'll get to that. So,
okay, sorry.
To you, Chair.
Yeah, you can
There's
go
some
ahead.
program which look like more of a summer camp types program. Are we charging the fee as compared to, for example, the courses? Of course, it's not a similar type of courses, right? The camps offered by cities or other programs are there. If not, we should keep it lower. I mean, just a suggestion, so that we can attract more people, because parents are looking for opportunities where can they engage the kids and they can still go and work, right? So those maybe need to align it to that as well. So that's just a note to you, Madam Chair.
Yeah, and thank you for that. That is one of the things certainly we look at, is the cost of that. We are able to keep some things low because of opportunities like the Focus on Youth, where that is a subsidized program, and so some of the employees, the children, the teenagers who provide as counselors, they are paid through a Focus on Youth, so through another avenue, which allows us to keep costs low. It is put in priority neighborhoods for us, like areas that we know don't necessarily have those same opportunities. So we do work hard to keep the costs as low as possible. Yeah. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Madam Chair, I'll make use of my last 2 minutes. So it's not a question, 2 comments. One is that how do we make sure that these such beautiful work we have done through the summer, a common public will only know, the general public will only know that in schools are 2 months are off. Nobody does anything, right? We have done tremendous work, right? How do we make sure that this gets out there, right? Public knows that, these things were offered, they were available, and then we have catered so many students. That's one. And I'll leave it to the staff to find a way how it can be. And then on the same lines, I think a note to Lois is that we need to bring those programs back to the community and then highlight in the ABR. That's the exceptional work we have done, and we want to make sure that the community do understand that board is putting an effort, it's in line with ABR strategy, and then things are working, right? That's what we need to make sure that people are with us. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Trustee Mamun. So the chair recognizes Trustee Wright to ask question.
Thank you, Chair, through you. A couple of things have already been asked and answered, so I just have a couple of additional questions. The first one was the Pilar credit. I was interested in that one. How are those given out as credits? Like, is it depending on the grade? Because I noticed there was quite a few students enrolled, and it sounds like a great program for students to do the co-op. And then how are is it done by grade? Is it similar to like the HPA where they match it with something they've already taken, or?
Sorry, so the co-op program, I think there's 2 things combining there, so I'll try and answer them. So one is related to the PLAR.
Yeah.
So prior learning is based completely on experiences they've gotten outside of school. So they've done learning in some other ways. Most recently you would have heard mature PLAR, which is related to people who've been out in the workplace for a while, who maybe never completed high school, and they can come back and challenge for credit to complete their high school based on their work experience because they can apply it and demonstrate that they actually have equivalent expectations. And so then once they complete that, they're given a mark on the assessment, and then it shows up as a credit that has been received through PLAR. So that's one. I think the other one was related to the...
I think I got the acronyms wrong, sorry.
Sorry, no, because the other question was related to co-op, and I think you spoke to, there is a connection to the co-op to a course that they had before. That is the same process. Co-op in the summer is the same as co-op in the winter, so they would have some previous learning in a course, and then the work that they do would be tied to that course. So if they went into something that had a math background, it would be tied to their math course. So I think,
Yep.
hopefully.
Perfect,
Yeah.
thank you. My second question is the Great Beginnings. It sounds like a fantastic program for teachers, and I'm just wondering, is it just hosted in one location? Is it local? Is there transportation provided? Like, so if teachers were coming from the north or east, south, how has that worked out for teachers?
So thank you for that, and through you, Chair. There's no transportation provided. It's at one site. It's at Richmond Green, High School. And we've hosted it there for a number of years because it's a good site. It's central. It's fairly easy to get to from highways. And so the program runs out of there and has for a number of years now. So it's kind of, I think teachers are now used to it and they plan to attend at that site.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that it's central. Then to follow up on what Trustee Mahmood said, just getting the information out there and communication, because fantastic programs that we're running. As a parent who sent kids to the Summer Institute and had them learning through play and activities, it was great and cost effective. The price that we offer the Summer Institute at is fantastic. So I think just some of the enrollments I was seeing, some of them dipped, some of them were kind of flat, but I think working on that communication piece and just telling parents how many wonderful things we have would be excellent. So great work, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Trustee Wright. So the chair recognizes Trustee Lin to ask a question.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Concur with some of the questions asked previously. I just want to continue on a particular section. So over the summer, first of all, I just have the humble opportunity to visit BBFK, BB1, Camp Black Excellence, and Summer Institute. It is eye-opening for the service that we are providing to our community. My question is, on BBFK and BB1, is that cost recovery or is that provincially funded or partially funded?
So thank you. That is, it's funded through, yeah.
Okay. My follow-up on that is a comment. I think with the anticipation of our future enrollment in the upcoming years, I think it is vital for us to put this two programs out to the street. I do remember every January on our public website that we really put our kindergarten registration. I think working together with the BBFK and the BB1 to put it somewhere, again, that's a communication question because I think that will help the board collectively to sustain and keep a healthy enrollment for the subsequent year. So that's my comment. But well done because I have experienced firsthand the program and the passion of the teachers. A lot of teachers put in to create those programs. To the grade 8 reaching ahead, it just come to me. It is very, very good opportunity. As a system father myself, I have that opportunity 4 years ago for my own child. We have 902 enrollment, and I see that we have 775 credit earned. Is there any particular reason that, is it because of some of the families like drop out after a couple of weeks? Because that is a very good opportunity for the kids to attain a grade 9 credit, which I share with the community at all times and ask them to take advantage of ahead of everybody?
Yeah, so thank you for that question. It is where we have students who have signed up maybe thinking it was more like their summer program that they were involved in before. And so when they start to learn, they say, oh, that wasn't what I thought I had signed up for. I actually have a commitment to be away the second half of the month. So they move on from that. It's more what we are working on for the future is making sure there's clarity around what it is, because there are other great programs for children who are in grade 8, and some students I think they're all the same. And so from one of the takeaways we've had this year is making sure we have clarity around each one, because it is a fantastic opportunity, but some people, that's not what they're looking for the summer. They wanted more of a camp experience, or they wanted more of a chance to be sort of a counselor in a space. So it's really making sure that we have that clarity around it. So thank you for acknowledging that.
Yes, thank you. Just want to, last follow-up is that various programs have various registration, different sites. Understanding that, for example, some institute will put into some of the P+ school and school in particular needs. So I think it's important that those sites, it is like a feeder system that we will also advertise the information to the surrounding public school, or it is only to the specific public school when we are advertising this, however that communication is. I'm just wondering, is it exclusive to the children going to that school, or they can be from anywhere?
No, it's not exclusive to that. We do have a focus on that and promote it quite heavily within those environments, but it is not exclusive. Students can come from farther away. There is no transportation, so it does tend to limit who would come from farther away.
Thank you, Jillian. I think last comment is that I navigate a board website quite often, and if we are able to put all this great program, especially as a push at a certain time of the year, as let's say January or February, like when we're pushing for the kindergarten registration, I think that will, especially if it is funded, I think we should capitalize that opportunity. But well done. I didn't know that we have this much of summer program, to be very honest, but this is super. Thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Trustee Lin. So the chair recognizes Trustee Cohen to ask a question.
Thank you so much, Madam Chair. First of all, I have to say again, you are amazing. This team is amazing. How you come up with so many incredible programs to, engage our students and in so many directions. It's unbelievable. Just had to say that first. Okay, most of my questions were answered. I just have a few. One is, I noticed that we hire at-risk students to act as counselors, which is wonderful for their self-esteem and so on. So when you say at risk, in what way are they at risk? I guess that'd be my first question.
So thank you for the question. I think one of the key focuses of the Focus on Youth program is to help provide opportunities for students who may not get the same opportunities. So some of them, they might be in a community where there aren't as many opportunities. They maybe didn't, growing up, have the same opportunities to engage in a camp environment. And so if you weren't a camper at a camp, it's hard to become a counselor at a camp. So this gives them a chance to become a counselor and get experience as a counselor that they could then use to apply to be a counselor at a camp in another space. So it's really looking for students who maybe don't have the same opportunities as some of their peers, to give them a chance to build their resume and participate in a program that's close to home, that's engaging and fun.
That's a fantastic idea. Okay, my second, I was just thinking, I know that a lot of parents spend a fortune on camps, overnight camps. Have we considered combining a learning and a camp situation overnight to compete with some of these camps that make a fortune?
So thank you for that. We have not looked into an overnight option. I would not anticipate that that's something we would do. There's a significant increase in expectations on staff, physical, plant, et cetera, that we probably are not in a position to entertain at this point. But we do we do have a combination, to your point about the combination learning and camp. We have the Summer Institute, and then we did have the Inner Mathematician program, which is a learning in the morning, and then they attend the camp in the afternoon. So we are doing and are trying out different avenues like that, but always in a day setting, and I don't anticipate that changing.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Trustee Cohen. So the chair recognizes Trustee Butterworth for the second time questions.
Thank you very much, Chair, and sorry, Jillian, you're still standing there and you're probably thirsty. Anyway, I just want to know overall too, I mean, we see the success because of, like, say, credits earned and so on, but how are we getting feedback from families about their experiences? And, you know, not just the success part about credits, but like I'm thinking about the online thing, like were they happy, like, because they could get a hold of the teacher easily or what? Like, so how are we gauging or how are we getting our feedback and to sort of determine the overall effectiveness of the programs?
So thank you for that, and through you, Chair. We run a number of different types of exit surveys to determine the impact of our programs. We do, depending on the program, there may be some other monitoring. So Focus on Youth, for instance, there's a report that we provide, and so we submit from the counselor, from the program. That survey information is used to inform reports because it is provincially funded. We do often have different metrics that meet the ministry expectations as well as our own because we want to find programs that support our students. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I do not see any other trustee at the speaker list. The chair have one question to ask regarding to promote the enrollment for the program. So I'm wondering, is there any program has a cap number? For example, is the kindergarten program. So do we have a number, a cap number, or we can allow as many of students to register for the program?
So there would be caps per se based on the amount of funding we have. We have been able to be quite creative with our funds, so we do not sort of publish out that no, there's a maximum number that we have in any of our programs, but it certainly is possible that we would hit that. We are not there yet, but some are close. Our Summer Institute is very popular, but we right now, anytime we have interest, we look at all of our different creative strategies for finding out how we can fund it, and we have so far been successful with that.
Okay, so if we have a more enrollment, and then so do we, for example, right now, maybe some of the program, they already have a 5 site to offer, right? So if we have a more enrollment, do we try to, you know, expanding the site to become 7 or 9 site to offer the program?
So thank you for the question. We would look at a number of different options. So it's possible if we see that kids that are participating in it are coming from an area where we don't have a program and we think it would be best to expand out into that area, then we would do that. In other cases, we might just expand within the same school, but add another class or another classroom of learners. So it would really depend kind of on the data we collected around who was looking to participate in the program.
Okay, thank you. So the chair will recognize Trustee Cohen to ask the second questions.
Thank you, Chair. This is just a quick one, and you may have said it, I don't know. In the, what is it, Great Beginnings Teacher Summer Program, is that cost recovery or is it profit-based? Just curious.
So thank you for that. It's actually covered through our new teacher programs. It supports and is designed around supporting new teachers, getting them ready for their first teaching job or their second year in the job now that they've done it once and know all about how it works. So it is funded through that line, which is fantastic for our teachers. Yeah, free to teachers, sorry, yes, yeah.
Okay, thank you. So any other trustee have any questions? Okay, so here and seeing none, so there are no any trustee at the speaker list. So thank you so much for staff for providing this excellent report and excellent program. Well done. So we move to next agenda items, day of the next meeting. The next Learning, Equity, Wellbeing Standing Committee meeting is on October 14, 2025. So adjournment, as there are no further business, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you, everyone.